returns to her hometown Grace, her past can't catch up to her fast enough. Between high school love and not belonging and her family secrets, they all come back to haunt her. Lloyd Pergrino was an Apache. He took me out 4 times. Our football team was called the Apaches, but Lloyd was also a real Apache, and the kind of handsome you could see coming down the road like bad news. When he first asked me, I thought he made a mistake or a joke, and I looked to see who was watching. Nobody was. 4 Saturdays in a row for exactly 1 lunar month. The odds of getting pregnant out of that were predictable, but I was unfancifully naive. I was a motherless girl. I learned the words puberty and menarche from the Encyclopedia Britannica. The rest I learned from girls in the schoolyard who weren't even talking to me when they said what they did. Lloyd wouldn't remember. For me, it was the isolated, remarkable event of a tenuous life. But for Lloyd, with his misspelled name and double eyes, it was 1 in 100. He was a senior and ran around with everybody. Also, he was such a drinker in those days that I was frankly surprised to hear he was still alive. He never knew what he'd spawned, much less when it died. Even Holly didn't. It was the first time I understood that even with a sister, I could be alone. At night, I lay feeling my limbs, seeing what Holly still saw, what was nothing near the truth, and I felt myself growing distant and stolid. I was the woman downtown buttoning her child's jacket, her teeth like a third hand, clamped on a folded grocery list, as preoccupied as God, someone important and similar to others. I was lured and terrified. I couldn't help but think sometimes of escape. The thing inside me turning to blood of its own accord, its bones liquefying, leaking out, and then one evening, my savage wish was granted. I never did tell Holly. I kept quiet, first to protect her from the knowledge of terrible things, and later to protect myself from that rock-solid element she came to own, that moral advantage. It divided me from the people I knew, then and later. But in broader human terms, I didn't pretend that it sets me apart from in any great way. A miscarriage is a natural and common event. All told, probably more women have lost their children from this world than haven't. Most don't mention it, and they go on their day as if it hadn't happened. And so people imagine the woman in this situation never really knew or loved what she had grown. But ask her sometime, how old would her child be now? And she'll know. Cody struggles to cope with her past decisions with Lloyd and her father, but as she begins to realize what's being done to the water in Grace, her and her students join the stitching club to help save Grace from destruction. Life begins to make sense again for Cody, seeing Lloyd and keeping contact with her sister while she's in Argentina helping. But when she receives disturbing news that her sister Holly has been kidnapped, is it possible for Cody to live without the one person who helped her belong?